Hi, I'm Garrett with Garrett CNC, and I'm going to show you how to generate an image like this with G-code in about 3 minutes, starting from no idea to a beautiful work of art. This project is carved out on Bob's E4 CNC router, and everything was done with a V-groove bit. Beautiful tree of life on a 24 by 24 inch piece of particle board. Not the best recommendation, but the whole point of this video is to show you how to generate this image lightning fast when you have no idea what you want to do, and how you can have it ready to go in about 3 minutes. Let's get started. I created this on a 24 by 24 with a V-groove bit going down 0.1 of an inch. It took 18 minutes to carve out. Now this is particle board. I really don't recommend it because it really leaves a lot of chips, and the glue in the board kind of wears down the tool and makes the chips stick to the tool, to the bit here. This is all practice as I'm learning the software, but this is actually a beautiful piece, and I want to show you how I did this. So what I really want you to understand is starting from scratch. No image, no nothing. It took about 3 minutes to get from nothing to finding an image to generating the vectors to generating the code. And I'm going to show you how easy that really is. So let's start a new project. I'm not going to save that because it's already there. Now before we get here, we are going to go over to Google, and I'm going to do a search for tree of life. Now you do a search for whatever you want, for whatever images you want to create. We're going to go over to images, and there's trees of life. Now I want high definition pictures, so we're going to go to tools, size over here, and pick large. This is going to pick large bitmaps, and there's the tree that we had. So I'm going to right click, save the image as, and you'll see right here where it says yesterday I had one uploaded, where it has the Google symbol right here. The Vcarve is not going to pick that up, so we need to change our extension. So the new extension will be a JPEG. So that's been saved. We are now going to go over to Vcarve. And the size material is 24 by 24, 3/4 thick. We're going to work off the center. We'll click OK. Alright, let's import this bitmap. Up on the top, you have new, open, save. The very last one with that little arrow is a bitmap, to import a bitmap. So we'll go there. We're going to go to our downloads folder, which I am already there. We're going to double click that, and there is our image. Click this image again, hit your shift bar, take your small inner little button there, bring it up to the size that you want, and there we have that. Now we're going to import vectors on top of this. Super simple. Over in your create vectors area at the very bottom, it looks like a little airplane. Click that. Alright, now the image is grayed out a little bit. Depending on your image, you'll want to go color or black and white. It's always best to start with black and white. This bar right here, it tends to default to what Vcarve thinks is best. Basically, it's a grayscale, and it fixes this image to what it thinks. Now, just to show you what I mean, if we go all the way to the highest percentage, look at the image now. It imports all kinds of noise into it. And if I go all the way down to the lowest scale, the image virtually goes away. So we're going to come back to where Vcarve figured it out, and if you look at it, all the lines are very clean. I've got no complaints on this. Alright, down below, I always set up my noise filter up high. Noise filter just cleans up your lines even more, especially if you have a lot of jagged edges and stuff. If you've got a very rough picture and you can't seem to get it adjusted here, that's going to be a bit more complicated. You have to fiddle with nodes, but for this case, we don't need to do that. Let's preview this, and now it's imported the image, the lines around the image. We're going to apply this and close, and let's just see what this looks like. Now when we imported a bitmap, it created a new layer. Our default layer when you start up is layer 1. Click that, turn off the bitmap layer. Layer 1 is still our primary layer. And look at that. We have a beautiful outline. All our vectors look good. So we're going to just chop out some unneeded stuff, these little 4 holes that are around this image. You can go ahead and cut out anything you want at this point, or add. If you want to beautify this up just a tad. Last one. And we can adjust this on center if we wanted to a little bit. I'm not going to worry about that. At this point, just highlight the whole thing. We're going to go over to our 3D settings, so that's way up here, or carving, and make sure our material is right. It's set in the middle right now. Let's set it in the lower corner. This will be from your Z home or your XY home, and I'll explain this in just a moment. We're going to go 0.1, let's see, thickness is there. We are going to, or our material's good. Okay, I'm sorry, confused. Now we're going to do a profile cut. And there's our profile. We're going to go 0.1 inches. It says 2 passes. You probably want to leave that at that, but it's going to double your machine time. In cases like this, I'm just doing 1 because this is an experiment. So it's going to make 1 pass. We want this on the line. If it goes outside the line, it's going to trim out a lot of other stuff, and your tool may not. It's just going to take more work. We want to be on the line. Our tool is a V-groove bit. I'm using 60 degrees, and I am going to just run it. I am having no leads going into it. That's what our vectors look like. We'll run it, and there's our finished product. And I think this video took me about 3 minutes to make this part of the video. That's how fast this was. So then you just save your toolpath geometry. Make sure your post-processor is right, and save it so you can import it into your machine. Let's go to the machine setup. This is the board that I've already made it on. We're going to use the other side. Now, I did the same tree of life with my laser burner, which I'll talk about later, as I've been doing some experimenting with that as I just got the thing. Okay, so on Bob's CNC, one of the things I want you to take note of. This is Z home position, or I'm sorry, it's a complete home position. So we have on the E4 a huge unusable space. Literally, this is from here to here, 8 inches. None of this can have toolpath over it. So that's a little deception on this machine, but that's okay. You can hang your part off the edge. Your workspace is from home position, which is right here, which I will set the board corner at that home position. And it can hang off, and it's only hanging off about 1/4 of an inch. So that's not so bad. So what I've done is I took my Z and I lowered it down to my part and simply just lined up the corner there. So at that point I measured it, which is 2 1/4 inches. And now I'll just adjust this side to 2 1/4 inches. Double check, back and forth, measure twice, cut once. And then I just clamp down each corner using the provided clamps, which I'm surprisingly strong for these things. These came actually with the machine, so they gave 8 clamps, 2 long ones, 4 long ones and 4 short ones. So this is what your clamps look like. So I just use these guys as a little stand there. Clamped all 4 down. After the board is cut, this beautiful cut, I want you to take a close look at this. I've got a lot of burr hanging around on these cuts. So what I'm just going to do is take a razor blade, scrape the whole thing, and that smooths everything out, breaks off all the little chips. And then inside is a lot of debris. I just take a used toothbrush, clean it out, and everything looks good. This is just one pass. Then I'll vacuum everything off, take the toothbrush, brush my teeth, and take it to the next step. And then I'm just going to take a Sharpie and fill in all the lines. And there's the finished product. I mean, you get up close, it's pretty rough, but you know, from a distance, this actually looks really cool, just for particle board. So this was made on Bob's CNC machine, and so there you have it. A very quick way of making something beautiful. I would really appreciate if you'd leave a comment, share how you do this kind of stuff, and you know, it gives me a perk, it boosts my channel. But that way you can share with other people as well, and I can get some new ideas. I'm Garrett with Garrett CNC. Like the video if you like it, don't like it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you want to know more of this kind of stuff, and we will talk to you next time.